Hello everyone, I am the Chris who plays games. Tonight we're going to be playing a game called the Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable is a walking simulator with a amusing narrator. So hopefully the game doesn't crash like I think it is right now. Awesome. Good start to the stream. Welcome everybody. I hope you enjoy crashing games because that's clearly what I was trying to do. Alright, close the program. I don't want you to report the problem to Microsoft. I want you to just ignore the problem and allow me to deal with it. Hello, James. Hello, and happy holidays. Okay. It seems like the game is getting farther this time, except it's not displaying on stream. So far, good shape. Why are you being so weird, game? Don't be weird.
This is the story of a man named Stan.
Alright. So... why... there we go. Alright. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. So Stanley Parable is a walking simulator. My goal is just to kind of chillax here, and we're gonna wander around. So what happens is, as you wander around,
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Yeah.
So we're kind of wandering around this office. We know that I'm employee 427, I think 429, 429. So that was my door. All these are locked, so we'll just wander our way over to the meeting room and see where to go from there. Is it kind of choppy on stream? Maybe it's a little bit. Let me just check something real quick. Hello, Cotton Pop. Hello, Yugi. Hello, Leif. Hello, James Holder and Jeff and anybody else who might or might not be out there. Welcome to the stream. I am the Chris who plays games. Okay, that's fine. That's as good as it's going to get, I bet. So basically, as I walk around, the narrator is going to narrate my actions.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But here's the thing. I haven't entered the door on my left, right? So, like, I could do what the narrator says. I could go through the left door, or I could go through the right door. And I don't like the narrator, so I'm going to go through the right door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
This whole office feels very cluttered. Like, there's all this stuff on the floor.
Yes,
there's like coffee cups out here.
Admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Also, this is not a beautifully constructed room.
Drinking it all in.
Look, like this floor, like, is sunken in. Like, that's not a good design. That's a bad design.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Looks like a creepy door. I don't feel like I like that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Oh, a second, let me make this smaller too. Can you all hear the voice? All right, I didn't pay attention. I didn't check. I've been sick, and I'm still sick. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Penalty for jumping off the lift, $5,000. I wonder what happens if I just jump off. Like, screw the lift, just jump. You think I die? I wonder. Should I check it out? I can't jump. So all I could do is walk off. I got that you can't jump achievement, presumably because I hit the spacebar like 27 times trying to jump. Okay, that's locked. I bet if I walk on the elevator, it'll go down, but I think I'm just going to fall.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
All right, I plunged to my death.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Well, I am very powerful, and you can tell because I have cool chili. All right. Let's try this again.
His co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So we
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So we know that jumping to my death does not succeed in allowing me to live.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
So basically,
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
this entire game is going to be the narrator.
This room.
Oh, it's different that time.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took
And
the first open door.
there's a whole bunch of different endings. It's just like a choose your own adventure book. Only I get to choose the adventure
Stanley
by
was so
walking
bad
through
at
it.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, so this time let's go on the elevator.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
We have not.
I'm not your enemy, really.
Yes, you are.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else.
You're like GLaDOS.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
I mean, I do appreciate stories that are about nothing but me.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
I mean, making every decision by myself is the point.
I'm asking for her.
Oh.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Apparently I've got some girl who's waiting for me. Waiting for a girl like you. Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Alright. I'm gonna place my faith in another by picking up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Well, that's not very
I'm trying
nice,
to make a point
narrator.
here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I don't think I want to come inside.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh. See, this narrator's kind of evil. Alright, I got a tiny little apartment.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
The death?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Alright, fair enough. My nature is inconsequential. I will push the
Look at
8
him
button.
there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
I'm actually eating dinner.
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I have chosen this life. I push everything but I.
But in
Okay.
his mind,
That
in
didn't
his
work.
mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
I can go on
From
fantastic
behind his
adventures.
desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever
Hey,
happen to him.
I can go on adventures. Shut your mouth.
And so he began to fantasize.
I guess
about
I'll
his
watch
own
TV.
job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
That would not be exciting to me. That would be extremely
So
sad.
he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
Well,
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
I don't like
and
babies.
He called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
So this is
Surely
kind of
there's
like a
an answer
meta
down some
description
new
of the
path.
game
But
itself,
maybe,
obviously.
Perhaps if he played just one more time.
That's right. I'm going to play one more time.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In
There is
reality,
an answer.
all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Please press 2 to beat at work in the morning. That feels like a bad plan. Unfortunately, I don't think I have an option. Otherwise, the game just never goes anywhere. I wonder how long I should wait. Oh. Did I cause something to happen? Oh. Please press 2 to be at work in the morning. I misread that. I read that as beat at work, which is a different thing. Alright, I'm gonna wait like a minute and see if something else happens. Anyway, yeah, so this is clearly a story within a story about the fact that I have just invented all of these different paths and workplaces and everything else like that. Yeah, so Stanley Parable is a choose-your-own-adventure game. It's a choose-your-own-adventure game where the way you choose adventures is by following paths. You've got a narrator all along who kind of describes what you're doing, who's also, of course, a participant in the story in the same way that GLaDOS is in Portal or something else like that, and is kind of leading me down a particular path. Alright, I guess I'll press 2. Oh, 2 doesn't work. Oh, I can crouch with one of these buttons. I don't know which one, though. Yeah, so having your boss be gone just doesn't seem like it would be really... I don't know what to do now. I can just restart, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could it mean?
So I don't know if I
Stanley
screwed it up by
decided
trying
to
to
go
push
the
different
meeting room.
buttons.
Perhaps he had simply missed a
But I'm
memo.
going to go a different way this time. So we know that all of our coworkers are gone. The meeting room's to the left, but we don't care about the meeting room. So we'll go through the door on the right.
Way to the meeting room.
We'll go through
Stanley knew it
the employee
Perhaps he wanted to
lounge,
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
which everyone will say is well constructed, which it's
The
not.
lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I will go through the first open door on my left.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, but if I listen to you, I'm going to do something different. So we're going to do that. We're going to take this elevator down. Let's see how it goes.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Is it left or right or straight?
Down, left,
Why though?
right.
Extra flux, why what?
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Alright. Let's go this way. Down this hallway. Hey, look! I'm in a big room with a bunch of screens.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
I'm not gonna close my eyes.
Okay.
There's all kinds of cool stuff to see.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
I am perfectly happy wandering off track, Mr. Narrator. Jeez. Okay, fine. Alright, so the narrator clearly wants me to go to the conference room, so maybe I will just do that this time and see how it goes.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I've never played this before now, that's correct. So usually I don't like to play games with really heavy narration because Whoa.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Oh no.
Did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
I don't know, man.
Did you move
I just
the
looked
story
around
somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come,
oh no!
Stanley, let's find the story.
But now there's like 8 doors, and I don't know which one to go through, and I can't jump, so I can't go this way. Alright, let's go around here. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, maybe the story is this way. The narrator isn't telling me where to go for once. I like that. I feel like I'm heading back. Oh, that was a big loop. Okay, so that wasn't the way to go. Let's go this way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
No.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Fine.
Why not?
No! I was doing this fine. God, narrator. Yeah, so I usually don't like to play games with heavy narration because I like to talk during my streams, and I always feel like I'm interrupting the narrator. So I had avoided Stanley Parable. I know a couple other games like it, and so yeah, that's why I had not played it yet.
Okay,
but
yep, it's worse. I might be remembering.
It is worse now. I don't have any doors.
The story is back where we just came from.
All right, let's go back then.
Go back the other direction and see if we missed anything.
But I never even got to the conference room. I was gonna go where you told me to for once. And this is what I get. I did not get the TPS report memo.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This narrator is definitely, like, fucking with me. And oh god! This is different.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
It's a story.
I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Oh no, the door I came through is gone.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
But I didn't win.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Are you saying I'm a cheater?
I'm getting
because I don't feel like a cheater.
This place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Hey, look! There's a line this time.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
But now there's a door here that wasn't here before. I'm not following your stupid line. I'm gonna go a different way. I'm gonna go find this meeting room. Oh, wait. That room is blocked off again. Okay, fine. What's gonna happen if I go in here again, though?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay. I have to follow the line. Reform the line! Reform the line! What's on this? Oh, Solitaire! I want to play some Solitaire. Not really. I don't really like Solitaire. It's not a very fun game. Are these doors open? Why are all these doors locked? Who has offices these days anyway?
See,
Everyone lives in, like, open office
story
plans.
is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Alright.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
The story of no
Simply
destination
by the
is
act of
still a
moving
story.
Forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a
Congratulations,
byproduct
awesomeness!
of one's subjective experience.
Where are
of
you
that
officially
existence,
employed?
right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact,
The skeleton of my
own relative
experiential
mental
subjective construct?
Whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
I don't care.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Me
You know
either.
what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay. It's really loud, but alright. Let's follow the line. I can't follow it on the ceiling. But okay, I'm just gonna keep following the line all the way along this musical interlude.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Look at that fern.
Stanley,
Okay.
this fern will be very important later in the story.
Alright, memorize the
Make sure
fern.
you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright. Is there like a frog in here or anything? I feel like I would put like a little frog statue in here if I had that fern in my office, but I don't see one. Alright. Music has ended.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
But now my line goes to... Oh, this is where I came from. Well, that's where I went. So I went through 425, and then I came back through 426. I started coming from this way, but I don't care about that anymore. We're going to follow this through this door and into 455. Well, that one doesn't have a number. Never mind. All right, back through here. Well, congratulations. Oh, we're back in this room again.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh. But, alright. Now I guess we follow the line again?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever
I
done
tried
for
to
us?
forget the adventure
We're
line and you got all
intelligent people,
cranky
right?
at me.
Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Which direction? Oh, I don't see a direction. So, oh, this direction. Alright, 437 it is.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Okay.
I'm ready for it.
So it's interesting that it's kind of a choose your own adventure book,
no,
but...
Not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
I mean, I can't
No
really
lines
stop
or
it.
monitor
It's just
rooms.
here.
Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't acknowledge it. I like that it has a trademark because, of course, it's the adventure line. Oh, it went through the ceiling. Okay. Well, we're not acknowledging the fact that it went through the ceiling. Uh-oh. This room has two doors.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Alright, walking in
Okay.
circles.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
I mean,
so
that's
starting
true.
from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
No.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Nope. Can't vote. We only have one choice. The narrator has made the decision for us. Jose!
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Alright, we
So
did
now,
third
according to the
restart, we did
schedule,
adventure
I restart
line.
again. Then
Found the
what?
line
Am I
again.
just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want
Says
to
so
forget?
right there. Narrator forgets
My
about
mind
previous
goes blank
restarts.
simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean did
Oh,
we do it?
the doors were the
Did we break
same.
the cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Oh. I guess it restarted. And the narrator has now forgotten about the previous restarts.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
As usual.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, sorry. Very loud noises. Loud noises!
When
All right.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
I've
left.
already gone to the right plenty of times. We're gonna go left this time. Alright, meeting room. Never been here
Yet
before.
there was not a single person
Tips for
there
not getting
either.
fired. Talk
Feeling
less.
a wave of disbelief,
Don't
Stanley
get fired.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That seems like good advice. Resent at coworkers for not supporting you more. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passively aggressive on coworkers. Using slide. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. It will produce a calm and productive work environment. That's good. Those are good ways to use slides to ensure that employees are okay. And everyone is unique, you most of all. That's good. Those people don't look very unique though. They look pretty much exactly the same, just with different colored hair and skin. Number of slides on this slide. On this slide,
Stanley just stood there doing
I
nothing
guess.
at all.
I mean, I'm
He
reading
seems
this
to think I have
PowerPoint.
nothing better to do with my time than to sit around
Shush.
and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
We have to circle the top 20 things that I love most about my boss. Oh. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another employee, remember it takes 2 people to start a fight, and right now you're both of them. Alright, good to know. What are your dreams for the future? Plant life? I think that's a good plan. Alright, we're done with this. Broom closet. Hey, I can open this door. Look at that.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
That doesn't sound like me. I'm gonna close myself into this broom closet. Okay, I'm not. But Pollution's a good dream.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
False. Stanley walked downstairs to the maintenance room.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired.
So does his boss.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
But my boss vanished
and then
too.
Something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Like the fact that I'm walking in a circle?
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Also
and
true.
For that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
They are definitely
No,
repeating.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Neat.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for
I mean, it's true. If you're asleep, you don't have to take responsibility for yourself.
Right now, as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
It's not a dream.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
The voice is omnipotent
was a
and
part
all-powerful.
of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside.
I'm awake.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nice try. But you're not. Because it's not a dream. Because I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, everything went black. There you go.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, that's not Stanley. Now I'm confused.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh no!
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Well, that's a
Although she
thing.
would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
I mean, we're all a little
And in
bit
that
crazy.
moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Nobody's normal.
I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. So I guess that's the ending where I die as a crazy person on the street, screaming, "Does anyone know me?" That's an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I guess there's a Netflix Choose Your Own Adventure movie that was released today, which is interesting.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not
False.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I did
Perhaps
know
he wanted
it.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness.
It's a pretty strong
But
statement about
eager
an
to get
employee
back to business,
lounge.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Huh. Boss has a nice office. Very fancy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I don't see a keypad. Where's this keypad? This is my boss. Oh, there it is. 2, 8, 4,
Stanley just
5.
sat around, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Hey!
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, there's a button. Should I push the button? Should I walk this other way? It's very dark over here. Okay, I don't feel like I'm making any progress in this corner here. Alright, so that's where I came from. Let's go to the button pushing. Yeah, so I guess it's a Black Mirror episode that's based on Choose Your Own Adventure or something. An interesting thing to me is actually, I guess they wrote the storyline in Twine, which is like a cool like Choose Your Own Adventure creation thing. It's an easy way to make apps that are like Choose Your Own Adventure games. So I thought that was interesting that, you know, filmmakers are using kind of indie game dev tools to create their scripts and stories, which I thought was great.
As though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Good question.
This question would not go unanswered for long.
All right, let's get the answer. Alright, I don't think I've been here. This looks kind of...
Stanley walked straight ahead through
Hey,
the large door that
the
read
mind control
facility.
Seems like a good place to go. Alright, do I get to turn the mind control knob?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh, but I already was in this room
What horrible
from up
secret
top.
did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I want to turn the TVs on. I want to find out what they have on them. I guess I can go this way. There we go.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Cool, I guess. I guess I gotta go this way. So I think I am employee like 428 or something. So that's like me. Alright, let's push this button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Sure can.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
No, yeah, so the other one, they did a Minecraft story mode one, right?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent
I
his
didn't know they did
entire
put
life
some Minecraft I
utterly
knew.
blind to the world?
Because the Minecraft one was like a collaboration with
The
Telltale.
heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Oh.
Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from
But they're
this
all
very
offline.
place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
False.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Incorrect. I will turn them all on. Oh. I guess I won't turn them on. Okay. Dismantle controls. Fine. Oh, wait. Push the 5. I want to turn them on. I guess not. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. So what is this language up here? Is it JavaScript? Looks like JavaScript.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So he's suggesting that I should push the off button. But I don't want to push the off button. I want to push the on button.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Oh.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
2 minutes sounds good.
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You
All right,
are the star.
4.
It's your story now.
That's
Shape
right.
it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them.
Passcode.
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground,
2 is
swallowing
up here?
everyone
No, 2's over here.
inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Alright,
I have to say
2.
this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching
And
you
then
try to make
push 2.
sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it
Yellow.
go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
Red.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Green.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Okay.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30
That's
seconds
fine.
until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the
pretty
same
happy.
to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Huh. Yeah. So, that was interesting. Stanley's coworkers were gone. Is going to be his next... We're back to the beginning now. So I feel like there's got... Ooh, look. It's different now. There's paper all over the floor.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I definitely feel like in that room with the mind control facility, there's got to be a way
Stanley
that
came
you could
to
do
a set of
something.
two
Yeah.
open doors.
He entered the door on his left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
That's correct.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
It's almost the underwater one, right? I feel like I saw it and I decided that it wasn't really something I wanted to play. It's like the survival horror game. Yeah, I'm not a huge survival horror fan. I could grab it because like free games, whatever. But
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
wait a second. That is different. Anyway, okay. So I'm going back to the mind control facility. Go this way. So yeah, I did my Choose Your Own Adventure like book reading stream, and so this is very much like a Choose Your Own Adventure game. I have not played it before because I do a lot. I only play games on stream for the most part, and it's a game that kind of talks over me a lot. So
through the large door that read "Mind Control Facility."
yeah, so like I really enjoy the type of game, I think, but it felt too much like horror for me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret
that was
did
why I
this
didn't play
place
Soma,
hold?
I think.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's go. But yeah, so I didn't know about this Netflix Black Mirror thing until today when I saw someone whining about the fact that it was hard to like capture because he makes gifts out of things or whatever. And like Reddit has a whole flowchart of all the paths you can take and how you get to different endings, so on and so forth. I have not actually watched much of it yet. I'm aware of it, but haven't touched it. So tomorrow I'm going to see Home Alone at the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Yeah. We've heard all this part before. I'm just going to ignore you, and I'm going to do it again.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I mean, people can just be happy with boring jobs. That's okay,
No.
too.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
It's the movie,
Was it even possible?
but with
Had he
the
truly
musical
spent his
score. So the
entire
musical
life
score for Home
utterly
Alone
blind to the
is
world?
from John Williams. The Boston Symphony Orchestra is kind of like a home orchestra for John Williams. So he's done a bunch of stuff there, and in particular, they are doing an arrangement of the score performed by an actual orchestra alongside the
And as the
movie.
cold reality of his past began to sink in.
All right, now I'll push the
Stanley
off
decided
button
that
and
this
see if it just does the same
machinery-
thing. Or if it just goes back to the beginning. Okay.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He
Well,
had defeated
sort
the
of.
machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
I mean, he hasn't.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Happiness is a
Perhaps
good thing to
his
seek.
goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
This looks
That
like a
was all
fake
he
world.
needed to know. It was perhaps
Feels like a
the
trick.
only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Did he? I guess he did. Alright, Stanley stepped through the open door into this fake world that's a trap.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hey, I got the beat the game achievement. So I guess I beat the game, sort of. Yeah, so of course Home Alone, as a person growing up in Chicago, has a special, impact on me.
Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, and it's not like there's a huge amount of that in Home Alone, I guess, but I feel like it's the thing, right? Like that's where the whole movie takes place.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Because they're always the whole thing. They're trying to get back to Chicago, I think. And
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no.
I'm going to be in the closet. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright. Now come through here. Come in. Push in the code again.
I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Oh, I didn't have to type it in this time. So it didn't give me the... I was like, there's no dot. I can't figure out what the heck I'm pushing. And the reason is because it actually just opens the passageway without you typing it in the third time. But yeah, so I'm going to go see the movie, and it has a John Williams score. And so the orchestra will be playing with the Wellesley Women's Chorus will be... playing and singing the score, which I'm really excited about. It was Jess's gift to me for Christmas, and I'm excited about it. Unfortunately, Jess hates the movie, and I had hoped to find somebody to go with me, but unfortunately, because I was so sick, I did not actually get around to asking anybody. So now I have an extra ticket, and I don't know if I will have anyone else to go with. Other than that, I've been working with Julie on finishing up her college applications, many of which are due for the first of the year, so we've got to get those done.
Their true nature revealed.
Yes.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
I mean, they're sort of my coworkers, but they're mostly just empty screens.
Images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I guess Soma is also a women's lingerie clothing brand, according to this Google search, so the more you know.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
No, he just likes boring jobs. It's fine.
Manipulated to accept it blindly.
But now we are going to go, and we are going to try and take over the mind control facility.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't.
I have the power.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Alright,
but
so
here's the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. As the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So if I turn the system off, then I save the day, and that's great. If I don't, I turn it on.
Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls,
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave.
Alright,
If
so we
you
got
want to
buttons
throw my
1
story
and
off
2
track, you're going to
here.
have to do much better than that.
We got
I'm afraid you don't have
5
nearly
up
the
there,
power
4
you
up
think
there.
you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's
5 is
emergency
here.
detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without
052.
proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode.
House,
eliminating the
yellow,
entire
green,
complex. How
red,
long until
blue.
detonation then? Let's say
2 minutes.
Ah, now this is making things a little more
Okay,
fun, isn't it,
blue
Stanley? It's
3.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
But I don't
Shape it to
see
your
a
heart's
blue.
desires. Oh, this is much better than what I
Okay,
had in
that's
mind.
10,
What a
that's
shame we have so
10.
little time left to enjoy
10,
it.
10,
Mere
okay.
moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
10,
More time to
10.
talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Blue house.
What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34
3
seconds
attempts
left.
remaining.
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
142.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time
5.
doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
I mean, I
Or
don't.
did
It
you
doesn't
just
bother
assume when
me
you saw that
much.
timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
I do think
I mean,
that.
look at you, running from button to button,
3.
screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Blue.
These numbered buttons, no,
Red.
these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything,
The
something
big red
here
button
will
over
save
here.
me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
So I
That this
think
video
when I
game
push
can be
this,
beaten?
it'll say.
Problem solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe
Incorrect
there's an
code.
answer?
Okay.
How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I
Probably
look forward
10.
to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion
Red.
of fire and metal over
Red.
and over and over
Red.
for all of eternity.
Red.
And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in.
Alright. I'm going to load game. Oh no! It went away. Hold on. I'm bringing it back. Load game. Where did it go? Alright. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to do. Quit to menu. Load game. No, that's not what I meant to do. Load game. This one. On.
Oh,
Okay.
Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're gonna have
so what
to
do we
much
got?
better than that.
There's
I'm afraid
these
you
4
don't have
monitors
nearly
here.
the power you think you do. For example, and I
We've got
believe you'll
the
find
numbers
this
1
pertinent.
through 5.
Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated
1,
the network's
2,
emergency
3,
detonation
4,
system. In the
and
event
5.
that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators
We got a
are
weird
set to
console
explode,
here.
eliminating the entire complex.
We've got
How
a
long
bunch of
until
different color
detonation
buttons.
Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's
Okay.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
So let's press
this is
3.
much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
So I
More
pushed
time
the
to
3,
talk about you,
which did nothing.
about me, where we're going.
Okay, now it
What all
says
this
green.
means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of
Green.
solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I
Oh, wait.
erased them.
No.
I turned off
So-
the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office
Alright.
forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
So blue.
Other times, I let the
Blue.
office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be
So
even
shorted
better.
these out.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
Re-enter
Dare wait.
passcode.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Nope, not really.
Do you really believe there's an answer? Stanley, how many times will you replay this point looking desperately for a solution?
Uh-oh.
10?
Somehow there's like a weird duplicate going on. Let's try this again. Alright.
Oh, Stanley.
Okay.
You didn't just activate the control.
So at the very beginning, somehow he
After
got
they kept you
doubled,
enslaved
but
all these years,
attempt
you
number
go and
4.
You try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
So here's the thing as I know. On this side, there are 4 things. These machines each have color buttons underneath them. The first button in order will, or the first screen in order will say the blue number 3, followed by green. So I could do blue, 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 green, and see if that works. But I don't think that's right.
And I believe you'll find this.
And if I entered this wrong the first time, these monitors lock out and stop working.
Emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it,
Alright,
Stanley?
so now does it
It's
say
your
blue
time to
3?
shine. You
Oh,
are
no, it
the
says
star.
1 blue.
It's
Okay.
your story now. Shape it to your
So let's
heart's desires.
push
Oh, this is
blue.
much better than what I
Then
had
push
in mind.
1.
What a shame we have so little time left
It's
to
over
enjoy
here.
it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More
Alright.
time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
So now it just
What's
says
that?
red.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll
Variable
tell you
not
exactly
accessed.
what
Okay,
happened
so
to
this
them.
errored out
I
now.
erased them. I turned off the
If I come
machine
over
and
here-
set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
That
Sometimes
says
when I tell
bad.
it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Okay, so that
Other
door
times,
is just never
I
going to
let
be
the
able to
office
get
sink into the
through.
ground, swallowing
so
everyone inside,
we can
or I let
do
it burn to a crisp. I
2.
have to say this, though. This
1.
version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back
Hello,
the control
Hellhound. Welcome to the
wrested away
stream.
from
I'm
you.
the Chris who
It's
plays
quite
games, playing retro games every Monday at 9:15, whatever I feel like every
go.
Friday at 9:15.
But
Tonight
I'm
we're
sure
playing
whatever
Stanley
I come up
Parable.
with on the
At the
next
moment,
go
we're
around
in a
will be
room
even
where
better.
the evil narrator
My
is
goodness,
currently
only
attempting
34
to
seconds left. I'm enjoying this
kill
so
me
much.
via a nuclear
You know what?
detonation that
To
I am
hell with
attempting
it.
to
I'm going
get
to
rid
put
of.
some extra time on the clock. Why not?
He's making fun of me
These
for
are
not being able to
precious
solve the
additional seconds,
riddle.
Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea
Somewhere
where you're
there's a
going or
code,
what you're
or
supposed to be
somehow
doing
there's a
right now?
code.
Or did you
The
just
numbers
assume
around the
you saw
room
that
might tell me
timer,
something,
that something
which is
in
like
this room was
142,
capable of turning it on?
521,
I mean,
521.
running from button to button.
There does not
screen
appear to be a
screen,
0,
clicking on every little
although
thing in
there
this
could be
room.
that I just haven't
These
seen.
numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
What do we got?
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
5.
One solved? Do you have any idea
2,
what
3,
your purpose
4.
in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me in the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again.
And Stanley died
And
again.
Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling
Enable
desperately to
backup
your thrill?
power.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
This is
Make it
something...
count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Ah. Okay. So, there is no way to solve the bomb ending scene.
Gone. What could it mean?
It is just...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting
A
room.
trap.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm not going to go to the meeting room this time. We've done that before.
When
You're
Stanley
right.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, that's not true.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope, also not true. We're going to go back to the
Stanley was
weird,
so
creepy,
bad at following
like,
directions, it's
serial
incredible he
killer
wasn't
one.
5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think
Actually,
perhaps we've
we're
gotten
gonna
off
try
on
and
the
go that
wrong
way.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I can't go all the way
realize investing
down, but
your
I should
trust
be
in
able
someone else can be
to
difficult,
jump to
but the
this
fact is that
grating.
the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Hopefully.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Danger
Are you
everywhere.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
You killed me with
Now,
nuclear
listen carefully,
bombs.
This is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
So what do you think, chat? Red or blue? What should I do? Red or blue? Your birthday was the 24th. Well, happy birthday, Hellhound. I'm glad you were able to have that. It sucks to have your birthday be in December because, of course, everyone just thinks of combining your birthday and Christmas present. Red it is. All right, we're going to listen to the narrator.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
All right.
You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way
Now
we're
it's
doing
in a
right
loop,
now.
though.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just
I can't just stop moving.
And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
That door is open. That door is open. This game is essentially a choose-your-own-adventure game. Well, it's kind of a weird, creepy choose-your-own-adventure game.
What are we looking for?
Blue maybe was the right choice. Oh, look, now I'm in Starland.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
You actually feel happy. I mean, that's great, but it's just kind of like there isn't anything here. It's kind of dull, right? Like living in a sensory deprivation world is just not that interesting in the long term.
Where are you going?
Do you want me to go back to Happy Land? Okay, fine. Here, look, Happy Land. You did it. But I'm bored.
Right. Where were we?
We're bored. It's pretty, though. I mean, I appreciate pretty. Nice little music. You got some weird colors going on the edges here. All rainbowy and shit. That's great. Like, really great. But, again, bored. I don't want to be happy. I want to be interested.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I mean, sure. But if I just stay in the one happy place forever, then I will have no other emotions. And without other
Please, no,
emotions...
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't really want to kill myself. That seems excessive. Is that really the world you've created? I can either live in eternal bliss, but have no other emotions, in which case, like, there just isn't much there. Like, there's no sense of emotional happiness without a counter. There's no sense of something being good without there also being a bad that you can experience. If you don't have the ability to experience the other emotions...
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
I don't want to do that.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
But it's just boring happiness.
Are you... You are going to stay here, aren't you?
Nope.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
What's getting through to me is that there's no need, but there's no meaning in eternal happiness without something else to it.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I'm jumping.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, Can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Alright, I have stopped moving. Yeah, supermodel, so I guess the narrator feels very happy here. But yes, this is my point, right? Like, this is not exciting. It's not interesting. It's just... it's relaxing. But nothing more. It's just cycling through these various experiences.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
I disagree.
No. No, no. What do you do? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
You can't say anything to convince me. I don't believe you. You're a big liar. It tricks me all the time. Maybe you shouldn't have lied.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do... My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Yeah.
You're literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yes.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
But yeah, so the game is all about exploring these various endings and pathways and everything else like that. As you play through, the world around you changes. You're always restarting in the same place, and there's like any other choose your own adventure book, there's a whole bunch of different endings. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 or so endings. So...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And like any could choose your own adventure, there's a bunch of reused content and also some things that are not.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Well, maybe. Maybe we won't do that, though. Synergize. Core value expenditures. Shift global market parade. Monetize free-to-play. That's a good plan.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I feel like there's got to be something in here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Fuck all.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
I mean, you say it's of no significance, but it's a labeled door that opens. Like, most doors don't open. If it were of no significance, then the door wouldn't open.
This is somehow its own branching path.
It is its own branching path.
When you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Yeah, the broom closet ending is my favorite. I gotta see if I get
Stanley
it, though.
was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Oh, that's
he
not
probably only got
cool.
the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Man,
That
this
or
guy's
with
a bit
drug
mean.
money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh, come on. That's not cool.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
That's right.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
I mean,
Well, in a situation like
I can
this,
just walk.
the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
yeah, narrator's
Hello?
super triggered.
Anyone who happens to be nearby, the person at this computer is dead.
Not dead.
He or she
Look,
has
moving.
fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
I like the fact that this game is so meta
You've
about
done that.
itself.
Just step out into the hallway.
Nope, not gonna do it. Maybe I am. Alright, fine.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright. Back to boss's office. Well, no. I don't really want to go to boss's office, do I? I just realized that, like, my genuine general intuition of going to boss's
Stepping
office...
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated the... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety...
Very easily triggered, this narrator.
walked forward into the opened passageway.
So I think at this point I could call myself done at any point. Like, there are certainly more endings, but I don't know if, like, I want to try and get them all or not. And they're not easily, like, trackable. I don't know. But yeah, so this is basically, like I said, just a, like I said, a variable choose-your-own-adventure game. Hey, escape. Seems like a good path.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I don't really believe the narrator on this point. Like GLaDOS, I just, you know, can never really trust anything he said.
Shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I can try the blue door. That's true.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
That's right. Think I'm gonna die? Oh! Yep, I died. Oh! I did not die. The narrator was lying, as usual.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps
Anyway, hello,
his
Aunt
end
Ken.
was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
That does not seem like what happened. I feel like that's a misleading description.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Whoa.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
There you go. So the two doors were the very first part of the game, the very first decision point of the game. This is like a museum. It's the museum of the creation of the Stanley Parable. The various office computers, solitaire, employee database, credit screen. Cool museum. Mind control facility, we saw that.
Stanley pushed the orange lever. Then he pushed the number 4.
Outtakes of clips. Why does dying seem so scary? Well, in general, dying seems scary because it's an end of the things that we understand about life as we know it, right? So, generally speaking, you don't want to end something you understand for something you don't understand. The same as, like, getting a new job is scary. Freedom ending. I got to the freedom ending. The countdown desk? Oh, this is from the early version of the countdown ending. Which is not what I did. This is the beta version of the freedom ending.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Do we see this? Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey the writer as kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. There you go. So Stanley's desk. Various versions. So this is the first version, a later version where he has 2 computers, and then back to just 1 computer later on, but he's got a pencil sharpener and a phone. Okay, now we can, I think we've explored, oh, we didn't explore everything here yet. We'll explore the entire museum before we move on. This is the lounge, an early version of the lounge, things from the office. Cargo lift, I took that earlier. It's always intended to offer the choice of jumping to a different path, but also jumping to their death, which I did do as well. Maintenance layout. The various options they discussed for that. There's some windows here that don't seem to do anything. So this is like a museum of stuff about the game that I am currently playing. One second, I need to close this. Okay, so now I think I have actually explored everything and I can exit the museum. I have turned off the Stanley Parable.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Oh, I got splatted. It's alright, though. I was ready to be splatted. Now is it going to begin again? Nope.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Alright,
Perhaps
so we wanted to try the red
stop by
door, or the
employee
blue
lounge
door.
first,
We went to the red
just
door.
to
Let's go
admire
try
it.
the blue door.
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Anyway, the whole game's kind of weird, and
Stanley was so bad at
like
following directions,
many of
it's
these kind
incredible
of
he wasn't 5 years
more
ago.
narrative-y things, it's not so much a game as it is an
Look, Stanley,
experience.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not your
I don't
enemy,
believe
really,
you.
I'm not. I realize that investing in your
I also
trust in
haven't
someone
actually
else can be
finished the whole
difficult,
Mariella
but the
ending
fact
because
is
it
that the
like
story
stopped
has been about
letting me
nothing
push the
but
buttons.
you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
So I may go finish
Someone
that.
you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Alright, we went red
Give me
last
a
time.
chance.
He's gonna say
Now,
red,
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
but I'm gonna walk through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
I want to
Work
see a
with
list of
me,
all the
you've given me
endings and whether I got them
absolutely
all.
Nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
$91,730 doors opened. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. Hey, that's me. I am ranked last out of all players worldwide. Let's go through the store again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Narcos, how's it going?
I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Do it.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Let's do it, narrator man.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
All right.
Click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, you fail.
Good.
It's a
Burn
very
babies.
meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
I have
Be
no
keep
desire to
notes
save
on
a
your
baby.
experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Because I hate babies.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're welcome.
Hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Alright, let's play someone else's game, apparently, because narrator feels jilted. Minecraft!
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
I can't jump.
At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough?
But I
Tell
can't
me that,
jump.
Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Where are you building it?
Here. No.
Oh,
here.
there.
And then...
It's more like a throne than a house.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off...
A door.
Yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could
It's a little
only
bit
be better
small.
Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes,
Hello,
yes,
Bullet
yes.
Plays.
Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Alright, follow the narrator. Let's go mining.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Nope.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Oh no! I guess we're not playing Minecraft anymore. So we got the museum ending. Now we got the Minecraft ending. Why are you not responding? Why do you, like, you hang when you're loading? That's weird. Don't do that. Freaks me out. Hey, Portal! I love Portal.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it.
It's Portal.
You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Alright, let's go play Portal, apparently.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius.
I'm brilliant.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through.
Oh, he just left me here. I walked before he finished talking. It's very dark down here, man. Got some lights? Could give you a better score if you put some lights in this place. Light switches, maybe? Some way for me to turn on the lights? Alright, I gotta try and make my way out of here, I guess. Let's see this way. Hey, that looks lit up. Computers. These doors are all closed. Hey, some light. 427, that's my office. Well, it's my employee number anyway. Unfortunately, it don't seem like I can interact with anything there, so... Oh!
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I mean...
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Wow,
The
creepy.
end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
So I guess that's the blue door path. Oh god! The door closed on me. Oh, I can close the door. Ah! I didn't realize that. Hey, a different door opened. Oh, but I can't get over there. I don't think. Maybe I can. Nope. What if I can open my own office? Nope.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, do not jump off to your death this time.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
So now we're going on to the Mariella situation again, which was the part of the game where I got stuck before.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
So this is the one where I walk in, and it's going to pretend it's all about my wife, and then I find out I don't have a wife, and then I push buttons.
To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I guess I could not answer the phone.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
I did.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Ha! I'm not Stanley. That's true.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices.
That's
and to
right.
think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely.
Oh.
It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation?
I mean, I don't really know
I
what's
wouldn't
really
have that kind of
serious
risk
about the
on my
situation.
watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house.
It
Which
feels like a
choice
hard thing
would
to
you
do.
make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Oh, stop making noise. Hello?
Excellent.
Oh,
Making
I was supposed to
choices on a
practice.
regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8 choices per day?
Do you make more than 8?
I make more
Less?
than 8 choices.
And finally, if you begin to wonder
also
if
it
your
shouldn't be
choices
less, it
are
should be
actually
fewer.
meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside.
It is
At this
true that my
time,
problems
your
are materially
instructor will guide you in an
insignificant.
exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Alright. Make good choices. Oh,
Welcome
wow.
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Yeah.
But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
So I'm supposed to come here. Oh, now I can't jump off this anymore.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we We can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Oh.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
But then the story would
We just have
reset
to
like
get
it
you
always
home
does.
as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Whoa. Alright, so we're gonna go this way and make a different choice, apparently. They're gonna send me back to the room with 2 doors.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Alright, so I come out here.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Got it. Left.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Left. Oh. I guess I can't break it anymore. Alright. I guess I have to go left this time and see if the world is broken.
Oh, it's ruined.
Yep.
I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that you... My story! You've destroyed my work!
Yep.
Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Well, I guess I messed things up. Oh, you can't really shut it down, it seems.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever.
I am clever.
Now
Look, I
where
got
we are.
here.
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
I mean, you're a weird,
What,
creepy,
did you think that would be
disembodied
funny?
voice.
You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
What's the good reason?
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you?
There is no world
You're
outside
a
of me. I'm the most
child.
important person in the world.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious.
False.
It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. Got it.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
It's like
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Okay.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. We'll see if the world's broken when I do it this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Yeah.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Okay, so
Stanley
now-
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I can't open the broom closet anymore.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, interesting. So a couple of the different paths that have existed previously aren't on this timeline. Yeah, this is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I feel like I'm being really dumb, but Night Shark
Okay,
115.
fine. You're not going to do it?
I did.
But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
I guess I got to a different end
The
now.
story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know.
Yeah.
I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
Oh, this was a big Valve
Time
game?
to decide.
Made in
I'm not
Sourced by
sure
Valve.
your
Never
choice
mind.
is
Okay,
correct.
never mind.
That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need. But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Alright, so let's, Stanley Parable endings. We've got the Mariella insane ending, which we've seen. The coward ending, which we've seen. The museum ending, which we've seen. The confusion ending, which we've seen. We've seen the story, the phone ending, the real person ending, peering above the ceiling, the powerful ending. Yep, we've seen that. We went through the portal ending. We've seen the Zending. We have not seen the escape pod ending. Or the out of map ending. The serious ending is like a cheating one, which we have not seen. We have seen the art ending. Yep. We have not seen the whiteboard ending. We have seen the broom closet ending. All right. So I think we've basically seen all but like one of them, which is the escape pod ending. All right.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
I didn't mean to do that.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
All right. So let's try this one last ending, and then we'll call it the end of the Stanley Parable for us tonight.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Take the door on the
When
left.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The meeting room has no people. Oh, sorry. Game. There you go. Thank
Yet
you.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright. So I briefly walked into the boss's office. No, that didn't work. Oh. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Ah, Extreme Bathrooms, everyone's favorite bathroom magazine. Alright, so now let's go back down here. Oh, not that far. I think it was a cookie. That's how I took it. Money crisp. Oh, an elevator. I don't think I've taken this. Oh, I can't take that. Apparently the executive elevator can only be taken by executives.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Okay. Alright, I did not succeed in doing this escape pod entrance, so. Okay, I think that's it for me for Stanley Parable for tonight. It's not a really satisfying ending at the very end there, but that's alright. Thank you all for hanging out and you know, experiencing the Stanley Parable with me. I do think it's fun. It's like it's a fun experience. It's definitely, like I said, not so much the normal gameplay thing. I am gonna play a game of Overwatch, but I'm probably not gonna stream that. So it's been lovely. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I will be probably... Is Monday New Year's Eve? I think it is, right? Yeah. So I probably will not be streaming on Monday because that's not really a thing. Because I'll probably like go out with friends or something for New Year's Eve. But I love you all. It's been a lovely year, and I hope next year is even better. It's been lovely to have all of you here tonight and in general. So take care of yourselves. I will be back next Friday streaming some games again. So thanks. Have a good night. I'll see y'all later. Bye.